Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, Rocket! Hey, we gotta get this stop here, D. Hey, Delta! Hey, exit! Hey!
Mike 59! Mike
Load it!
59.
Load it!
You!
Look!
On 1st and 10, Rivers with a catch made by Dontrell Inman. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Hey, Alpha!
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. And he'll be brought down right around the 37th.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Rivers throw to the right here to Gordon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rivers looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And the Chargers first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hey, Delta!
The first down throw here for Rivers. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And an alley to run. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 36 yards on the play. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Hey, Foxtrot. Hey, ready.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bilal Nichols. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Rivers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. Get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
In your face.
White.
Mike 5'9". I'm coming.
3rd and goal for Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Hunter Henry, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Chargers 7, Bears nothing.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Come on. Watch twist.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 38-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting a 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Ain't no such thing as a left threat. Hey, Charlie.
59 Mike. Check, 59.
Wait, 89.
Throwing Rivers. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, he shifts past him. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bears take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
So don't say nothing. 12. Hey, orbit.
Rivers now from the 50. His throw incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Christian Travis. Mike, check.
On 2nd down, Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Chargers were best in the NFL, 7 of 8 on 4th down last year, and they're going here. Gordon. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bears.
180. Hey, Delta. Oh, you got deep? Search 5-4. Hey, dude. 5-9. Let's go one more. Drew. Fresno.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers on the screen. This is Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Load it. Load it. 5.
Here we go again.
Check 59, Mike.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. He's able to find Inman. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Dontrell Inman, his first touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards.
Line of scrimmage to 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rivers. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Anthony Lynn says now's the time. His guy's going on 4th down.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey. Load it. Load it.
Mike, 58, right there.
I can't believe they let you play.
They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And an alley to run. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Watch the screen.
Left.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
To throw is Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Chargers.
380.
Mike's 50.
Cut. Watch the twist.
Q. White, 89.
Rivers on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rivers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Looking deep downfield. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some...
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Throwing here, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Charger drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Again, it's Cohen, and he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Desmond King making the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Jerry Tillery brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Hey, Rocket.
Smalls. No. Check 59. Mike is 59.
Behind.
Rivers now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Check.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 5'9". Let's go, baby. They turn over.
Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. Throwing, Rivers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Room to run past midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Let's go.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7.
Here's Rivers. Throw left side complete. It's Henry. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hey, easy.
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Room.
59.
Hey, exit.
Danny. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Here we go.
Hey, Delta. Behind.
From the red zone now, Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Phillip Rivers with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Badgley on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Next the score, Chargers 28, Bears nothing. Michael Badgley, the kickoff for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made... And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Trubisky to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
We own him. Keep it skinny.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Hey, go orange. Orange. White, 89.
Following the interception here, Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. About 3 yards there to the 27.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, 79! 79!
59. Mike's 59.
Hey, Alpha!
Check 59. Mike is...
On 3rd down, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Badgley now for the Charger field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
Now Davis. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. The 20. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Trubisky. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
31's the mic. I got you. I got you.
Here's Trubisky. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. Then the Bears get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 28-7 ball game.
Chargers 28, Bears 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Cluster. Hey, Delta. Hey, Echo.
To throw again. Rivers got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there. First down. Running on first down, Eckler.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47.
44.
Load it.
Mike,
Load it. Hey, Foxtrot.
Working out of the gun. Rivers to Gordon out left. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It's coming again.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 25-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
They try again with Cohen. Dancing away at the 30. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Watch the safety creep.
Hey, ball. Red, tough.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Alpha! Go, go.
Mike, check, 59, 59. Rip right.
White, 80 high, 80 high.
Now a tip carry for Melvin Gordon. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Muscles him off. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On is the Chargers punter now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here comes Cohen. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Hey, Charlie.
Throwing on second and long. Trubisky. And he's going to go down again. Melvin Ingram make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here.
The Chargers take over first.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The 40-yard line.
Mike,
That white 90. Round 80.
no chance. Check
White.
Check 99.
Cluster. Pretty high.
Rivers here to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
White 89.
To throw is Rivers.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Mike 5'9".
Second and 5 now. Rivers, that is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Dontrell Inman with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Mike Badgley to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
I got you, boy.
On first down, Cohen. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airway.